All right, guys, I'm coming to you live from Patrick Bet-David's Vault Conference 2025. And today I want to cover artificial intelligence in HR. PBD announced earlier today that they are going to be soon releasing an HR AI platform called HireMetrics. You can check it out at HireMetrics.com. But I've been covering this a lot because HR is one of the most at-risk careers when it comes to AI takeover. And a few videos ago, I'll put a link to this video here, we talked about how there are so many, hundreds of thousands of job listings out there, and they are being screened by AI in some capacity. And the problem is that there's so many fake listings out there, you don't know which jobs are real or not. And then if you're trying to get employed, what you're doing is, employees and recruits are using AI and AI agents to apply for jobs. So what's happened here is there's a complete disconnect between the person trying to get hired and the person that's doing the hiring. AI is just playing a massive, massive role. I also kind of highlighted this a couple of videos ago when I mentioned, and we covered, that McDonald's has actually used an AI program called Paradox to screen 64 million applicants for jobs. 64 million screened applicants, pretty big deal. So what is Patrick planning to cover? What's Patrick Bet-David going to be releasing here with his platform, HireMetrics? So it's pretty cool. It's a unique approach. I think it could make a huge splash, especially someone like PBD, who has a huge audience. It just makes distribution that much easier. So what's the promise of the platform? It gives qualified applicants an instant fair interview and empowers the HR team with clear, explainable insights. And that's the kind of the differentiator here. Essentially, this is how it works. And I think it's really interesting. It is going to be the future of how hiring works. So there's essentially 4 steps to how this works. The first step is an automatic resume upload. You don't need to fill out a bunch of questions and answers and fill out forms and surveys. You just upload a PDF of your resume. And what the HireMetrics platform does is it's going to review your resume and compare it to the job listing, the necessary skills, experience, etc. It's interesting, I did something like this before in the past when I'm hiring someone to work with me, or I'm looking for a particular opportunity or a particular role for a particular position. I'll put out a Google form and I'll have people answer the questions on the Google form, send it through an OpenAI AI integration to give everyone that applies a grade, and then I just review the top graded applicants. This takes it to the next level by actually using the image recognition to review the resume itself. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. What does it do next? Well, if the applicant qualifies, and this is the next step, which is, I think, pretty genius, if the applicant qualifies for the role, it will send them an invitation to complete an AI interview. It's gonna be interesting to see how this rolls out, but essentially, that applicant is invited to interview with the AI for 5 minutes. There's a 7-day expiration date on that invitation. So, well, you don't have to go through all this back and forth, waiting for a response. In fact, the data that they had on their website shows 99.9% of applicants never get a response. Well, what if you got a response almost instantly that asked you to fill out an application or complete an interview with an AI agent? Pretty interesting. And just like in the sales world, it's speed to lead. How quickly can you actually get to the prospect? It's the same thing in hiring. How quickly can you get the right person on the right call with the right person? And by using HR, using AI in the HR process, you're able to screen things out much faster, much more efficiently. Certainly not as personal, but much more effectively and efficiently. What happens next? The results of the interview, the results of the resume, the AI review, all that information is sent over to the recruiters who get an objective score and breakdown. And then again, they can decide if they want to take the next level. Again, I cover a lot of marketing and sales. That's, my specialty. So in that world, you're using AI SDRs to qualify and then put them on the call with the right salesperson. It's kind of the same thing here when it comes to hiring, using AI to do all the initial screening, get the interview, which I think is an interesting touch, and then send that over to the HR manager to bring them on, to actually get them into the real interview. And then lastly, and I think this is an interesting point, and again, we kind of covered this in a video a few weeks ago, is it uses smart talent matching. So let's say, for example, that job role closed, let's say you get, 10,000 people that apply for a position, let's just say. There's a lot of people looking for work right now. All my college graduates out there know that. But let's say you get a bunch of applicants, say 10,000 applicants, well, you can probably only bring on a handful of them. Well, what happens is the HireMetrics AI software, again, that Patrick Bet-David is planning to release here very shortly. What happens is it saves all of those applicants, all of their data, and it will match them with new job openings open up, okay? So you might only be able to hire a few at first, but jobs will eventually open up. You're gonna scale, you're gonna lose employees, et cetera, et cetera. They're gonna move on, you're gonna need to make adjustments to your organization. Well, you have HireMetrics, so HireMetrics will go, it'll look at that backlog, it'll look at the interviews, it'll look at the resumes, and it'll match accordingly. So, and by the way, this is one of the things that we covered in that video a few weeks ago. A lot of companies are putting out ghost listings. Why? Because they want to build their database of potential recruits. And this is kind of doing that, but it takes it to the next level with the AI interview. It takes it to the next level by using the AI to kind of screen all this stuff. So again, going to be very interesting to see how this rolls out. PBD will probably be announcing it on a more public way here in the coming weeks. He's going to be kind of shopping this out to organizations in Vegas this next week. But listen, guys, I'm trying to bring you the newest news as quickly as I can. That's why you're subscribed here. That's why you are subscribed to the newsletter, the AI Update at aiupdate.ai. I appreciate you watching. I'm gonna get back to the conference, guys. We got Tony Robbins coming up. All right, I'll see you later. Peace.